what attracted you to teaching and to Belmont?
Well, the thing that got me into teaching was that that I was a veteran and went. I had the interview at SC that they would help you on picking a veterans. They were helping them pick life professions or jobs, and they were the ones that had suggested I get into industrial arts, and they were the ones that suggested that I get into to go to Santa Barbara, that it was one of the outstanding industrial arts schools in the Pacific Coast. And the reason I went to Belmont was that I was teaching at Jordan High, and it was the last school that in LA to be from 6th to 12th grade. So, and then they split it up to make it a junior high and high school. And I was out of a job, you know. I'd still be, you know, they didn't eliminate me from being the teacher in LA. That opening was there, but it was to find a place to find a job in. So it was recommended that there was an opening at Belmont at that time, and I interviewed the principal, but mostly it was the department head, Joe Lane. In those days, the department head had, that's changed too, but in the old days, the department head had a lot more say-so, and not in the department.
Well, so, you mentioned that you did a lot of research before you went in for the interview, and you really wanted the job at Belmont.
Right. I didn't know anything about it, and I went there in the morning. I had an interview after lunch, but I went there in the morning to see what it was like, and I was so impressed by the buildings themselves, the architecture, but mainly the fact that at Jordan they didn't have the students taking care of the student body like they did there. As I said, they had the ROTC and the knights and the ladies and the chatelaines, and I forget what the lower echelon of the men were. But
pages, squires.
Yeah, squires.
I'm impressed.
So it was amazing that they took care of the problems. The teachers, the teacher only had to teach. That's it. You know, it was really amazing. As I said, I didn't even have to open the doors, because if they saw you were going to go someplace, they opened the door for you.
I think the service organization was the students were well trained.
Yes.
To take care of what needed to be taken care of.
As I understand it, when because I never got involved in it, but I did have a couple of ROT students that heard this whistle, you know, like a police whistle, you know, and it was blown, and the young ROTC boys ran out the door, you know, but that was expected of them then. It was, you know, as I said, it was expected, and they didn't do things, get in trouble doing that, yeah.
Well, Stan, you were at Belmont for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And how did your relationship with your students change over those 30 years?
Well, as I said, they eliminated, for some reason, the student body, all of these organizations having so much to say about it. And I don't know why that took place, but the organization of taking care of the grounds and everything, the teachers were given more duties, lunch duty, and the administration to be out walking the grounds. And I think when I first went there, I don't remember that we even had to do that. Like the ROTC would be out there taking care of the things. So that evolved. However, as I say before, that there was I didn't find a problem there, and some people told me that they thought that Belmont was they'd heard, I guess, on the news or read it in the papers that they thought Belmont was a little bit upset, but I never found it that way. It was never a problem with me. I don't think I saw any fights or anything else like that.
Well, you said earlier you enjoyed working as a stage crew?
Yeah, that was my favorite subject, except it was the hardest one also. It was I'd be staying there to, yeah, and when they put on these plays for, the musicals, so those students would stay there till 12 o'clock at night. And I'd have to be there too to close it up, and then be ready for the 8 o'clock class the next morning. So that was pretty hard. And the hardest part was always thinking something would go wrong. That was because everybody would know it. The audiences were filled, and particularly when they were putting on these night productions with the parents there and all, as well as the administration.
So do you remember those 3 big productions that you did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really do. And I was really, I'll never forget those, really. They were the top of the...
You remember the names of the productions?
Do I know the names?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Flower Drum Song, and You Can't Take It With You. And the Glass Menagerie we did. Did you see that one?
But we also did Finian's Rainbow.
And Finian's Rainbow, which was, that was a musical. Yeah. And before the musicals, before the music department didn't put on musicals. But when you were there, as I said, they had this one teacher that was, she and her husband would, and he donated his time, actually. Of course, she was being paid for it, but her husband donated the time, and they really demanded a lot of the youngsters. They didn't want to fool around. And I think they were done pretty professionally.
The one thing you had mentioned before was that when you first saw Belmont, you were impressed by the Campanile, and I was wondering if you could talk again about how,
It's okay.
what contrast what Belmont was like with the Campanile there, and how it changed or seemed to feel different afterwards, after it was torn down.
Yeah. Well, it was. When I first went there, it was like an academy that, like everybody, you had to pay to get into it, and it made sure everybody went down the line perfectly. And later it was more relaxed. There was a lot more freedom with the students.
But did the Campanile make you feel that was more of a Ivy League, kind of a high school?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be a good way of putting it, right.
Anything else?